What if I told you you're trapped inside a prison? Not one with steel bars, but one built entirely by your own mind. Some studies suggest as much as 65% of our day is driven by habit, not conscious choice. Stick with me, and I'll not only show you the invisible bars holding you captive, but I'll also hand you the key to your own jailbreak. This isn't just a metaphor for feeling stuck. It's a real psychological cell constructed from self-limiting beliefs and automatic habits. The bars are thoughts like, I'm not good enough, or I always mess things up. The walls are built from the fear of failure, and the ceiling is a heavy blanket of self-doubt. Your mind becomes a fear factory, churning out anxiety and regret. But here's the most dangerous part. The cell door is wide open. You've always had the power to walk out, but the prison has become so familiar that the freedom outside feels more terrifying than the confinement inside. In this video, we're staging a jailbreak. Section 1. The machine inside you. To escape this prison, you first have to understand the guard. It's not a person. It's a process called mechanicality, the rigid, machine-like thinking that runs your life on autopilot. Think about it. How much of your day is just a series of unconscious reactions? You wake up, grab your phone, and think the same looping thoughts. This is your brain's attempt to be efficient. The more you travel a certain thought path, the easier it gets. That's neuroplasticity. But when those paths are paved with negativity, you haven't just built a habit. You've built a superhighway to unhappiness. This might show up as being a hyperachiever who's never satisfied, or a controller obsessed with preventing chaos. These are survival programs that have long outlived their purpose. Your brain's ancient alarm system, the amygdala, starts to treat a work deadline like a life or death threat, trapping you in a cycle of fear. Section 2. The key to your freedom. So how do you break out? The key isn't to fight the prison. The more you try to force a negative thought out, the stronger it often comes back. The key is awareness. It's about turning the lights on inside the prison and calmly walking out the door. This journey isn't about becoming a different person. It's about unbecoming everything that isn't truly you, peeling back the layers of automatic habits to find the person who was there before the prison was built. We're going to do this with 4 clear, actionable steps. Section 3. Step 1. Name and validate your prison. The first step to escaping any prison is to know you're in one. You have to name your jailer. For the next few days, become a detective of your own mind. Whenever you feel that wave of anxiety, frustration, or sadness, just pause and ask, what was the thought that just ran through my mind? You'll start to see themes. The I'm a failure story. The nobody cares what I have to say narrative. Write them down. These are your invisible bars. Now, this next part is crucial. You have to validate the feeling without validating the thought as a fact. Acknowledge that these thoughts create real pain. You can say to yourself, it makes sense that I feel anxious when I think this way. This act of self-compassion creates a tiny bit of space. You start to realize you are not your thoughts. You are the one observing them. And in that little space, that's where freedom begins. If this is hitting home and you're ready to find that space, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join our community of fellow escape artists. We're just getting to the good part, how to actually tear down the walls. Section 4. Step 2. Challenge the mechanicality. Now that you've identified the bars, it's time to start rattling them. Step 2 is to actively challenge the automatic nature of your negative thoughts by deliberately interrupting the pattern. One of the best tools for this is mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't about emptying your mind. It's about paying attention to what's already in it. When a negative thought spiral starts, instead of getting swept away, anchor yourself in the present moment. A simple way to do this is to focus on your breath. Feel the air entering your nose, filling your lungs, and then leaving your body. This grounds you in physical reality. Another powerful technique is the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding exercise. Wherever you are, just stop and name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can physically feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This forces your brain to switch from abstract worry to present moment sensory input, effectively slamming the brakes on that runaway thought train. When you practice this, you are actively rewiring your brain and clearing a new path of conscious awareness. Section 5. Step 3. Reframe and rebuild. Identifying your thoughts is awareness. Interrupting them is control. But this third step, reframing, is where you start building a new reality. This isn't about slapping a fake, positive sticker on a negative thought. It's about finding a more balanced, realistic, and empowering perspective. Take that thought from step 1, I'm terrible at public speaking. A balanced reframe might sound like, public speaking is a skill I'm currently working on, and I get better each time I try. If your belief is, I always mess things up, reframe it as, I've made mistakes, but they were learning experiences that made me more capable. This is the core of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, a well-proven method for changing thought patterns. You're essentially acting as your own therapist by catching the distorted thought, looking at the real evidence and creating a new, more helpful belief. You're converting it into a workshop for building confidence. Section 6. Step 4. Announce your freedom. The final step is to start living like a free person. You have to announce your freedom by acting like you mean it. This is about making conscious choices based on your values, not your fears. It's inspired by thinkers like Viktor Frankl, who discovered that even in the most horrific circumstances, our ultimate freedom is the power to choose our attitude. You are the architect of your inner world. So, how do you do this? First, forgive yourself for the time you spent in that cell. Shame is just another brick for the wall. Let it go. Then, start making choices, however small, that align with the person you want to become. If your prison told you you're not creative, start a small creative project. These actions are like votes for your new identity. They send a powerful signal to your brain that the old, fear-based programming is obsolete. The prison of your mind is a formidable place, but its power is an illusion. You've now seen the bars of negative self-talk and the mental machine that keeps it all running. More importantly, you now hold the 4-part master key. 1. Name and validate your prison. 2. Challenge the mechanicality with mindfulness. 3. Reframe and rebuild your beliefs. And 4. Announce your freedom by acting with intention. This isn't a one-and-done fix. It's a practice, a commitment to your own liberation. Some days will be harder. The old ghosts of the prison will rattle their chains. But you are no longer a prisoner. You are the escape artist. You have the key. I have a challenge for you. For the next 7 days, practice step 1, just notice. Identify one recurring negative thought that keeps you locked up. Write it down, acknowledge it. That's it. Share the thought you're ready to let go of in the comments below. Let's declare our freedom together. The door is open. Walk through it. Be on the lookout for episode 5.